a fluid structure where you said, okay, doing, you were you were using Google, and then how it came, how to keep wipe happen, then came the mattress thing, then came the nappy thing. So it was all in order. So which helped me stay with you. Good job on that. Second, I love the words, descriptive words which you used. Now that helped me imagine things when you were describing the mattress. Okay, 1 inch gel and all. So it helped me imagine the mattress. Third, the theme that you chose, it was about the Google. Of course, there's no one here who does not use Google and was not experienced what you have experienced. So amazing job on the theme which can connect. Now let's see where we can improve. First, in the content, using the terms which you think may others may not know. For example, DIY. Everybody may not know what is the full form of DIY or the front foot stroke. Maybe someone who's not playing cricket may not know about it. So, a word or two about it to help us understand better. Second thing, it was a humorous speech. What could have been avoided? Then you were trying to say that Google is not your friend. But in the beginning, what I understood that it is your friend because you were just saying something, it is completing it. So the nappy thing could have avoided. What could have been added? How where you use Google to do something and how that was a disaster. So that could have brought a humor to it. Third, conclusion. It could have had a message because even a humorous speech cannot be divided of a message. I missed on the message. So overall, good job. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pinky, for that great evaluation. Yes, Toastmaster Akshay has reminded for each evaluator, it's 1 to 2 minutes of time which is available. And another aspect of an advanced Toastmaster Club is here we need not follow the CRC approach. Here the feedback can be more on development or whatever it can be, whatever the evaluator feels is most important and critical for the growth of the speaker. With that, let me invite the delivery evaluator for Toastmasters side. She's someone who's the president of the Hage Oracle Orators Toastmasters Club, a fire engineer at Reliance Industries, The Hage, fond of calligraphy, acrylic painting, swimming, and bike riding. Of the chess piece, she associates herself with a knight because of its unique way of taking down the opponent in proximity. Let's welcome Toastmaster Vaishali as the delivery evaluator.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for the warm welcome and introduction. I was caught in pickle when I was asked to be this evaluator because I am doing this for the first time, and I hope I do the justice. But a great greeting to everyone, and a special hello to Toastmaster Sai. What a great speech. You had a perfect amalgam of light and space and movement of yourself, your body. So I really like the gestures. It was complementing the context. Let me talk about the pauses and pace. So the pauses after the question, you gave a great pause, the starting question, and then while you were posing questions to the audience, those pauses were very perfect. And the pace was again very commendable. While description, when you were narrating this story, when you were explaining the audience, you were giving the pace. It was different than the pace that you were using to ask questions or letting people think about your content. So the pauses and pace were very good. You're talking about the voice modulation. You were throughout very energetic. So yes, and about your facial expressions, you were smiling, you were showing your irritated face when you were talking about your irritation with Google and other things. You were also taking size. So all these things made the speech, made the delivery very better. There is a recommendation, not a recommendation, it will be a challenge. In fact, whenever we are giving a humorous speech, we can choose not to laugh ourselves, not to smile ourselves, not to let people in front of us know that the next punch is going to make you smile, and we can make a neutral face and let the audience uh, have that sudden spark, sudden smile, sudden laugh. So that will make a great, huge impact. So this is a challenge to you for your next speeches. But again, your hand gestures will be matching your statements. Gesticulation with confident voice was great. That was great. And the compelling stories, the power of eye contact made your speech really an exemplary one. So great job done. Toastmaster Sai, all the best for your future speeches. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vaishali, for giving the delivery evaluation for Toastmaster Sai. And now I would request the lead evaluator for Toastmaster Sai, who's a Toastmaster from a decade and on a journey of becoming better every day. One unique thing about the Toastmaster, which I've added, is she's the first member of All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club.
Oh, yeah.
She prefers the Queen as a chess piece, as she had flexible moves, and losing her means the end of the game. Please join me in welcoming the lead evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Sapna Ore.
Thank you so much for that, Falgunan. Thank you for that. I didn't remember I was the first one. Okay. So, Sai, my question to you, which I'm very curious to know, did you name your child Google by any chance? Since it seemed from the entire speech of yours that it was a gift from Google. So the objective of the speech was to begin developing a collection of humorous stories. Trust me, humor is one of the most difficult speeches to deliver ever. I have seen a lot of people appearing for this project, and everybody just comes together with different stories and they try and weave it together. So it becomes more of like a stand-up comedy. And I was scared that you might end up doing the same. But let me just tell you this one thing, that you set up the context pretty well. You took us to the Stone Age era wherein you talked about how the rejection was then. Then you took us to the technological era wherein you said, if you don't know how to use Google, you practically don't know anything. And you're rejected straight away based on technology. And then from there, you moved into the stories of your life, from how you wanted to correct that, to maintain or repair that leaking tap in your house. And from there, it went on to buying a mattress, to how to really reuse your old mattress, to your life story of calling in your mother-in-law, making your wife happy, and finally, boom, you have a child. So the stories were well knit. The transitions were there. However, what I really felt you could have done better was the ending piece. I really got lost. And as a content evaluator has already informed to you that the ending just didn't sit well with the entire structure of the speech. I was confused as to where from, making your wife happy to getting your mother-in-law, making her happy. Straight away, we went to the topic. And then the leaking tap, it never got fixed. So I could never get a closure to the leaking tap. The next important thing, which I say, that even though you had your main character in the entire speech was Google, even though you kept going back and using it, that, Google, I went to Google, it said how to, when it gave this. I think it was even the repetitions were intriguing and they were interesting enough, because there were a lot of places wherein I felt my imagination running wild, and I could relate to where you were coming from with that basic line when you said, Google knows it all what you do. So from my side, I think you've met the objectives of the speech. Just take care of the closing of the speech, because that's the most important thing. And don't leave a loose opening. Whenever you start, don't close all the loops in your speeches. Don't leave anything hanging in there. That's from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sapna. Now we move to the evaluators of the second speech, which was delivered by Toastmaster Puneet. Let me call upon the content evaluator, who is a Toastmaster since 2002. He has sponsored and mentored 3 clubs. And his favorite chess character is a pawn, because it is the first line of defense and sacrifices the most. Please put your hands together to welcome the content evaluator, Toastmaster KP Jani.
Persuasive influence, connect with unfamiliar audience. That was the main motive of the speech of Punit. He did justice. From the point of view of content, he started with the story of $2,000 rupees bill that was shown in the public during the student days, and somebody getting and going and grabbing it. After that story, he comes to the table topics of his club, how he was given long table topics. Then he asks questions about life, which reflects better, mirror or candle. So these are the three main stations of the contents of the speech delivered by Punit. Now the topic to connect was start. He grabbed the bill. Then he started for doing his table topics. And then in the transition somewhere, the link was not so tight that you could relate the whole topic that yes, you have to start to attain your goal. The journey of the 1,000 miles starts with the first step. That could have been made very clear by linking up the stories. A smooth transitions are very important instead of having abrupt stories, three of them. However, you are savvy at getting your message through. A smooth transition would make your message much palatable and easy to assimilate. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster KP. And let me call upon once again Toastmaster Pinky Barrows to present the delivery evaluator report for Toastmaster Puneet.
Thank you, Toastmaster Falgunan. So, Toastmaster Punit, what I loved about the delivery was the PPE kit which you wore. Now, what is PPE here? It is the pace, it is the pause, and the eye contact. Toastmaster Punit, I observed that you were playing with pace. When you said that you will have to start somewhere, or you said you will have to start again. You said it fast, you were in quick space. So, when you said, are you willing to start again? That time you were slow. So good job on playing with pace. Then coming to pause. Have you ever lost any time? So after that, you throughout the entire speech, you were giving me pauses to reflect on your speech. And about the eye contact, which I said, you were looking at the camera, which made me feel that yes, you're speaking directly to me. Now this takes me to where we can improve. It is the expressions, the facial expressions that will help me feel that what you were feeling. For example, of course, when you said missed out, I saw that expression on your face. Yes, you missed out. But when at the point when you were saying thinking, but at the time you were smiling. So I could not connect there. The facial expression were not matching the words. That is something which you can take care of. Second thing, keep your phone. You're using the phone in the landscape mode, which will give you extra screen space to help you better help me see the hand gestures. For example, when you divide into two teams, your hands were out of the screen. But of course, you used it very smartly. That's in the middle of your speech. Second thing which can be taken care of, the table. Because the table was visible to me, I could see your hands were resting on the table, which was a barrier between you and me. The connection was missing sometimes. So now I don't see the table. So that is how the screen can be presented in the landscape mode. So otherwise, a wonderful job, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pinky, for the fabulous delivery evaluator report. And now we come to the lead evaluator for Toastmaster Puneet, who's someone who needs no introduction. But it's important that we do this formality. And let me call upon someone who's a Toastmaster for over 13 years. He was a charter member of Bombay Toastmasters Club and has held several leadership positions at the club at the district level. And he's also the club mentor of All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club. For the chess pieces, he prefers the knight so that he mentions that he can gallop. Let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nair with a big round of applause.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. And Puneet, what was the purpose of your project today? The purpose of your project today was to connect with an unfamiliar audience. What you had today was all Toastmasters. And you know, most of us, and I must say, whilst you are very savvy with all your speeches and your content, I think you got yourself you got your knickers in a twist this time. And I think by the end of my evaluation, you'll find yourself in a pickle. Because if you have not read the Pathways project, the content that is given to you on how and why and where you prepare your speech, I think today you have lost it for the simple reason that you had to choose an unfamiliar topic. It's a beaten and busted and dusted thing that you keep talking about your mentor and that same contest over and over again. I think you need to come up with something different. Whilst your speech did have some takeaway where you said that you need to start, but the project was not actually done according to the pathway project that is required. Now, please remember, it's different for what you do in the legacy program and what is done in the pathways program. If you've attempted a project in a part, then you need to read the manual very carefully and prepare your speech on that basis. Thank you. I hope you get it better next time as we go along. This being an advanced club, I'm sorry, I need to be curt with you. Over to you, Falgunan.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Arvind. I think that's the beauty of an advanced club. We give the real feedback to the speakers for their own growth and development. With this, let me invite any of the audience, any of the members or guests, if they have any specific feedback which they want to share with both the speakers, Sai and Puneet. Anything which they felt is not covered and they want to share, which will really help the speakers. Is there anyone who's raising the hand? I think there is no one from the audience who wants to